A very warm welcome wherever you are, and thank you for joining us. Today, we are having a very interesting talk today. And I want to just remind you this is 3T TV, whereby we tell the thicker story as it is. And today, we are taking a larger focus, not only centering on Thika, but worldwide, what is happening in the world. I'm always your host, JK Ndumo. And today we are talking about innovation and climate change, whereby I'm joined by three gentlemen who will be introducing themselves in just this very moment. So hope you are with us. So, gentlemen, welcome very much to 3T TV. Maybe we can begin by an introduction from the far right.
Thank you very much. I am Kopany Sepp Blatter, the chairperson, HomaBay Constituency, College and University Students Organization.
Thank you for having been around. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Fenius Oduor, the Director for ICT Innovation and Strategy in Kiambu County Universities and Colleges, Students and Alumni Association. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm Gorffly Mukua, an environmentalist. And in Kiambu Student Association, I work as the Deputy Director, as the Innovation and Legal Affairs Deputy Director. And I'm here to represent We Don't Have Time, an organization that deals with climate change.
So it's all about innovation and its contribution towards climate change. So maybe we can begin and get to understand what are we talking about when we talk about climate change. So maybe to begin with you.
Okay. Climate change is a situation that so many people are, they face the challenges because it comes with a lot of challenges apart from you have health challenges, we also have environmental challenges, and by extension it goes up to the economic setup for a particular nation. Now, many times people may ask themselves that what causes climate change?
Sure.
Climate change is caused by intense, I can say, global warming. Global warming is caused by emission of green gas effect in the air. When the sun radiations or the sun rays, so rather sun energy, hits the ground, they are reflected back into the atmosphere. When reflected back into the atmosphere, then a few, not all the gases, we have got gases such as sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, which are emitted back in the air. In the air, they are trapped within the troposphere.
Yeah.
So when they're trapped within the troposphere, they again radiated back to the Earth's surface. So when they're radiated again back, you find that the temperature increases from the atmosphere, and currently we have got a 1.1 degrees Celsius of temperature increase, unlike sometimes back when it used to be lower than that. So global warming, again, it's caused by excess pollution, air pollution. And air pollution, they're that which are natural, and the natural causes of air pollution, currently they're not that very adverse, such as the forest fires, they're not very adverse.
Yeah.
But the one that now makes it to adverse and it affects our current situation is the anthropogenic causes of air pollution. These are causes that are being caused by the human activities. What we as humans do and causes the high rise of air pollution. When air is polluted, when they are radiated back, it causes the other challenges we have. Now, before the industrial era, the climate change was not very severe. But since there is development of industries and vehicular emissions from burning of fossil fuels, we have witnessed an increased levels of climate change. So basically, climate change is being caused mostly by the human activities that we have around,
Yeah.
and pegged to the industrial unit that emits and pollutes our environment.
Yeah.
So basically, that is the first causes.
Yeah.
There are more of human activities than the natural causes.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, we can say that climate change is inevitable. Like, we are not going to run away from it.
As we speak and as we stand,
Yeah.
we can't run away from
We
it.
can't.
It's something that is within us.
Sure.
And we can witness globally and locally. Its challenges is there. As a community, we are facing it. And every person is in it. So it is something that is living within us right now. So the only thing that we need to do is combine together and ensure that we combat and minimize its challenges by the Sustainable Development Goals project of a better climate change by 2030.
Yeah.
So we need to work on it.
Thank you for that. Maybe you've talked about how we are supposed to work towards making sure that we deal with this issue of climate change. And maybe let me throw this over to Mukua. We are supposed to deal with it. So maybe some of the ways that you think are right, that you advocate, that you can mitigate the rise or the crisis of climate change.
Okay, so basically, if I may respond that from what we do as an organization, what we do as we don't have time, Kenya chapter.
Yeah.
I believe every person has a role to play in mitigation of climate impacts. First, what we are doing through our platform, which is called We Don't Have Time, we are trying to bring everyone on board, every environmentalist outside there. I believe if we can be able to bring everyone on board, they might be having the solution to climate crisis. And through our platform, we can be able to raise voices so that we can be able to influence world leaders, politicians, so that they can be able to take action for us to be able to mitigate these some of the climate change impacts. You know, politicians and some leaders play major roles in some of these issues. And if they are not involved, then at the end of the day, our efforts might not count. So as an organization, we are giving people a platform for them to raise their voices, for their voices to be amplified, so that we can be able to influence those world leaders, because we have voices and we have a platform. Through that way, we still offer education, or we do sensitization programs, creation of awareness through social media platforms, going to schools, and on every social media platform. We believe if the only way we can be able to achieve a resilient climate goals is through education, because everyone is a victim of climate change, but until they are aware how it does affect them directly, because for example, most of the young people, when you're telling them issues to do with climate change, sometimes some are hard to elaborate and make them be part of us, because they have not experienced real challenges of climate change. But I believe with education, with the proper sensitization, with the programs, like recently we were in HomaBay County, where we are hosted by the HOCCUSA president, and we are able to traverse many regions, schools, communities, for us to give education that is required, for us to be able to combat these challenges. The first thing that we must do is give proper guidance through sensitization, and I believe that's the only way we can be able to mitigate some of these challenges.
Yes. Thank you for that. It's quite elaborate. I want us now to talk about the backbone of our talk today, and Mr. Scott will be taking it through, where the space of innovation, where innovation comes in terms of contributing to the issue of climate change. So maybe you can tell us what do we mean when you talk about innovation, and to what extent and how does it chip in?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So when we talk of innovation, we mean using the ideas, using technology and the knowledge of science to solve the problem of climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So science has a greater stake In fact, innovation is the basic way of solving the problem of climate change. Because when I see a problem like a cause of climate change, let's say the poor dumping system. The other day I was in the library trying to do a research, and my research revealed that we as a country, Nairobi as a county, generates 20 tons of plastic waste per day. In each day, it's only 30% of the wastes that are collected and disposed safely. And you find that 70% are left idle. So that's where now innovation comes in. We are trying like to encourage the young students in the universities and higher tertiary institutions to come up with innovative ways and introduce the waste that at least after they are being used, they are biodegradable. Yeah. One of the case studies that we as a department in KUCSAA we are doing, we are currently registering the students who have good projects on climate change. And just to mention but a few, Kenya is currently suffering from the problem of desertification, which is also an adverse effect of climate change. So we are trying to encourage the innovation of crops and seeds that can endure that harsh climatic condition. Two, in addition to the innovation of biodegradable plastic bags, we're also scouting for the innovation of the plastic bottles that are biodegradable. So that's basically what we do. And also, for the water bodies, because I see our president is highly committed in recovering the water bodies. Like you saw the other day was in Korogocho, trying to do the Nairobi River cleanup exercise. So we as a department in KUCSAA, we're also trying to collaborate with different players. Already we have got the WET, which deals with the cleaning of the lake and the water bodies. So we are doing a research on the disposal system for the fish on the shores of the lake. Also for the siltation, whereby we encourage the students, and of course we have one, who has invented a detergent that after being used cannot cause siltation in the water bodies.
Yes, there are other notable activities that you've been able to do, like just to notably talk about, sensitization of the residents. Can you just in a flip talk about that?
Okay, I joined the HomaBay Constituency Students Association in doing the public education for the residents. And just for the sake of the viewers in all parts of the country, what we always do is with all these organizations, we try to join what we call the Define for Environment. We employ what we call the Define for Environment techniques, whereby we use the associations to educate the communities. For example, we realize that there are most areas in this country whereby the farmers grow they plant the eucalyptus trees. And eucalyptus trees, they absorb more water from the soil surface. So that's why when we nowadays do sensitization for the community, we try to encourage them to plant the trees or the tree species that take little amount of water. And also, in addition to that, the farming systems that we use in our communities are somehow poor. Like, we don't employ the use of the contour system for farming. So we find that the water flows from the hills or the highlands and then takes the soil to the water bodies. So the rivers dry. And just to say the last one, that in community sensitization, what we also do is conducting that education for the young children. The pupils in the high schools and in the primary schools are the basis. Because if we don't stem this problem of climate change from the bottom, we are in the era of bottom up. If we don't stem it from the bottom, then we're not going to help anything. So we also do education for the students.
Thank you. We've been talking about so much about sensitization and civic education when it comes to climate change. Maybe this goes to Mr. Blatter. How much effective is this issue of sensitization, and where are we as a state when it comes to climate change sensitization?
Okay, thank you very much. They have really touched on sensitization, and it is the first key part of an advocacy.
Yeah.
Currently, we are advocating for combating the climate change. But you find that most of our people, or as a nation, a few are informed. The first thing to start with is getting the information back to them.
Yeah.
And so I think when we do proper sensitization and speaking out loud about the challenges, about the causes, the challenges, and how can we combat climate change, it is very imperative. It is something that could be of benefit. But as a nation, I can confidently say
Yeah.
that we've done so little as much as climate change is concerned.
So
We are living with it.
Yeah.
We are just hearing maybe from the news, but when you go back down there, and for example, if you go back to my constituency at the very lowest level,
Yeah.
if you tell them, why do you think we are experiencing a lot of heat, there is drought, there is food insecurity, they will not be able to explain. So as a nation, we've really done a little in terms of sensitization and taking the issue of climate change seriously. And so moving forward, as my fellow counterparts have said,
Yeah.
the very first thing is how to sensitize as we pass the relevant information as much as climate change is concerned to the very lowest level of the unit within the society.
Yeah. Let's talk about a bit this to Mukua. We talk about the space of the government, whereby it is a collective responsibility both for the private sector, as the way you guys are doing it, and also the government. So rating our government, like what can you talk about the impact and so far what they have been able to do in response to, curbing the issue of climate change?
Oh, thank you for the question. Currently, the Kenyan government, through the president, they have tried to do something, but I can't say they have done their best yet.
Yeah.
Because the other day I saw the president saying that for us we need to achieve some percentage of forest cover, and they took some measures to ensure that that goal is achieved. But my question, like the other day, he said they are going to plant some around 15 billion trees. Yeah, that is a good plan, of course. But my worry is how sure these 15 billion trees are going to be not only planted, but they are going to, the government is going to ensure that those trees grow and they are protected from drought and animals, because most of us do tree planting exercises maybe on a daily basis, but if you can be able to do some analysis, most of the trees just dry up and others are just destroyed by wild animals. So maybe to urge the government, we need to really find a way of implementing the already existing policies on how we can be able to curb some of these challenges. But still, the government is trying there at least to try and mitigate some of these climate impacts. And recently, drought has been hitting several parts of Kenya, but we thank God it started raining. These are some of the impacts of climate change, and if the government is not going to be serious of this issue, if there's something we call greenwashing, they come during daylight, they tell us they advocate for things to do with climate change, and then when no one is seeing them, they do the opposite. Maybe the government should try to involve those people who are passionate about environment, those organizations who are doing sensitization to environment, because at the end of the day, you can't say that everyone should plant a tree. I'll plant because you told me to plant a tree, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to take care of the tree. But if we can find a way of involving those organizations, those climate activists who are passionate about climate change, then maybe we can be able to change this narrative and at least try and achieve some of the climate goals and achieve the Paris Agreement that was set. I want to add something about innovation. When talking about innovation, you can't talk about innovation without mentioning the young people. They play a very instrumental role, and currently every country, the most developed country, they are going green tech innovations, and the only way we can be able to achieve 100% and achieve a resilient climate is through innovation and technology. And as I have said, the young people have, of course, a key role in this, because they are entrepreneurs of tomorrow. They are climate heroes, and they are innovators. So they must be fully involved in any discussion or participation in things to do with climate and environment.
So, what gap do you think that is there in matters of combating climate change? Maybe it is good.
Okay, we have a very big gap in matters climate change advocacy. The first gap is within the norms that we have as a country. We have poor dumping system for the wastes. Number two is poor farming system, and poor farming encompasses the agricultural raw materials that we use. Look at the type of fertilizers we use. The fertilizers that in the event of rain, they cause siltation in our rivers. Number three gap that we have is with the technology. Our technology level as a country is 30%. And that's why we as a KUCSAA, Directorate for ICT and Innovation, we have incorporated what's called the Digital Literacy Program, whereby we are trying to absorb the people who do not know the technology, who do not know anything about the technology. We are trying to offer them education by partnership with the institutions that offer courses in technology. Because currently, an organization like We Don't Have Time has an application that they use to issue the climate ideas, climate warning, and climate love. See, these are platforms in which we as a country or the citizens can use to identify or to know, to get more knowledge at the comfort of their doorsteps. Yeah. So we have got a lot of gaps. And another gap is with the governance system in matters climate change. Okay, the government support in the climate change is insignificant as we speak now, because the government says that we have 15 billion tree plantation drive. Then one of the ways of implementing it is planting one tree, a single tree, in a given event.
Yeah.
When will we as a country reach there? Or areas that are very arid, let's say they are SAL areas. The government donates food. You see, food is, donating food to an ASAL area is the number last solution to climate change in that area. Okay, we have donated food. What else?
Yeah.
Should we as a country start thinking on a way in which we can reclaim these lands? Should we now? With me, I think it's high time that we use innovation to study the soil pattern of the area, the water level, so that we identify the correct seeds or the correct tree plants to be planted in that area. Using that approach, we'll be able to reclaim the lands. We shall be able to also to identify the government should also do what's called the irrigation, the reclamation of land through irrigation in those areas. A classical example is around the Kopany region, Thika Garissa Road. You find that the dry area has been reclaimed through irrigation. Yeah. And the area currently experiences low amounts of the greenhouse effect as compared to other areas. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Maybe you will get to think about telling us one tangible or good example of such kind of activities that are ongoing. As we go on to Mr. Blatter, You can talk about, tell us about the role of the young people, because he's so much specific when he's talking about technology and innovation and the space of young people when it comes to climate change.
Thank you. Allow me recognize, or even both you and me,
Yeah.
we can agree that the youth for a long time, they have been neglected in terms of activities that occur within our nation. And whatever is happening, it affects all of us. So I can start by saying that why can we consider the youth? Number one, we the youth, the youth bracket, at times it becomes a challenge because people will say a youth is from 19 to 35, 19 to around 25. So it becomes a difficult thing to see who sits on the table. You'll go find a hold mzee, then he'll be like, I'm the youth leader for this particular event that is going. So number one, I will say that the youths have been neglected the opportunity to sit at the table. Yet they can offer so much, which I will at the end I will state. So why would I say that we focus on the youths? Number one, youths are everywhere. Going by the percentage of youths in Nigeria, you get the youths that are advocating for climate change, they're around 71%. When you go to Japan, they're around 77%. And I'm very sure that if we do the arithmetic here in Kenya, we'll find that the youths who are willing to take part in climate action, it is also a good percentage.
Yeah.
And now what can we as the youths do? Since we are everywhere, we have the numbers. Number two, we are connected. When you saw there were issues of Black Matters Life, I think it was the youths who took much part in media running the hashtag Black Lives Matters. So the youths are connected and networked when it comes to advocating for something. So why will we not give them a chance? And as youths, what can we do so that we combat the climate change that we have? Because its challenges doesn't only affect me, but it affects the entire generational flow of the family and the nation and environment. So as youth, we stand a chance of advocacy. We are energetic enough.
Yeah.
We can go out there and advocate and get and inform people about whatever we are facing as a nation. Number two, as youth, we are innovative, as my fellows had said. We can invent things. We have got the skills to do these particular things. The innovative ideas, we have them. So as youth, if you have such ideas, to me it's my passion that each and every youth should come out and get involved in doing these particular activities. We can be in movements.
Yeah.
And it is very good nowadays. You have got very many student organizations who are moving towards realizing the potential that they have around them. For example, we have the HomaBay Constituency Student Organization. We are passionately driven to conserve the environment, and we are passionately driven to conserve that which we have. Same to the KUCSAA people. They are passionately being driven. So our youth can have it as a self-motivation, that if we do this, at the end of the day, it will benefit both of us. So to the youth, I will in a nutshell say that they serve a lot. Again, if before I stop, is that as we speak, the number of people in learning institutions are the youth. They understand best and they know whatever climate change means. So I think we can take that particular opportunity, that they are informed and they are educated. So what if the private organizations, the government itself, now they come and sponsor, or they come and through venture financing, debt financing, or kind giving, they support these fellow youths so that the youths can get involved directly. But until that one is not done, the youths, yes, we might have the energy and the ideas, but when we are not empowered, or when we are not being given that particular platform to do these activities, it is like we are doing nothing. So we need the empowerment from the government. We need the support from already established organizations and established private sectors, so that the ideas that we have, we find on how we can place it before them, so that we are assisted to achieve a reduced climate effect.
Yeah, thank you. And on the same breath, as you scale on a different way, about the HOCCUSA. That's the body that you lead, whereby there's an action plan that you guys have in place. Yeah. Just in a nutshell about it.
Okay, thank you. So our climate action is being driven, or I can say it is being motivated by the call of the COP27 and the call from the national government through the Right Honorable William Samoei to advocating for increased tree cover and climate conservation. So as a body that is being aware, we are just around the lake.
Yeah.
So we said that this is a thing that all of us can take part. So we have got about a few climate action plans. Number one, as a body, we are working towards increased tree cover within the constituency and far abroad, out of the constituency. Our area of operation is within the constituency, but we are planning that we go, when the resources are available, we can work anywhere. So number one, we are advocating for increased tree planting, whereby we are encouraging our own members within the association that using the water that is available from the lake, they can start up their nursery seedlings. When they have the nursery seed beds, that is, when they have the nursery seed beds within them, we also empower them economically, so that whenever the county government has a project of tree planting, they will come to the youth from this particular organization, they purchase instead of, because I can confidently say that in HomaBay County, there is no that place of vast tree seedling practices. We have to either go to PC or to go to Kisumu. So when we have got the seed beds as a student body, we will, there's something which we will donate as we do our activities, and again we will empower ourselves economically by directing other bodies to come and purchase from us. Number two, we are also on clean environment. That is one of the pillars that we work on. And when we were starting, I told you that climate change is being brought by pollution of the environment, also the air pollution. And a few may not know from the lower level I was talking about that when there is air pollution, the plant life also reduces. How does it reduce? The gases that are emitted in the air, when they drop down, they close the leaf stomatas of the plant. When they close the leaf stomatas, one necrosis can occur to these plants, the culling of the leaves, and so many effects. So once the leaf has dried, the plant has dried, if there are crops, we are now adding to facing food insecurity.
Yeah.
So clean environment and advocacy for clean environment, and I can give a comment to the county government of HomaBay, who have been consistently working on mobilized center cleaning. At that time, they came together with us. We cleaned Rodi Market, and they were part of us. On 22nd, I saw they were in KAINDI. So it is something that the government is nowadays getting into. So clean environment is one also of the advocacies we do. Sensitization, which we've spoken about for a long time, in any forum that we are. Remember Article 42 of the Kenyan Constitution advocates for a clean and safe environment for all. So we are also doing sensitization about what if we put our environment clean, what else can we face? So we are doing sensitization and advocacy as far as climate and environment setup is concerned. And we are also looking up to partnering with people, with the like-minded organizations who can join us. And I'm very proud all the way from Thika, we got We Don't Have Time organization headed by Mr. Patrick Kiari. We went all the way, had a five days tour just on advocating for climate, curbing climate change.
Thank you. As you psychologically prepare yourself to give us your parting shots, maybe in mashing up what we've had, to our very own esteemed viewers, you can be part of this conversation just down on the comment section. You can give us your thought about innovation and climate change and where we are as far as a country and as a nation is concerned. So let me just begin with Mr. Mukua. Give us your parting shot.
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity. It said words without action is nothing. And I guess perhaps it's about time we change our own motives. We stop doing much of the talking and go on the ground and take action. Because I believe we have the right information, we have the right policies. What is needed is implementation. It's time we stop with the boardroom meetings, conferences, talking about the same things now and again, and let people come and join us as we don't have time, so that together we can be able to take action. Because that's the only way we can be able to mitigate these climate change impacts. We can be here talking the whole day, but without action, we are doing nothing. So my parting shot tonight is it is a collective responsibility. It's not my responsibility for us to create a safe future for our generations. We must come together and take action now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can cross over to Scott.
Yeah. To our viewers, the future of Kenya as a country is technology in climate change. So let us raise our technology level and literacy level from the current 5% to at least 50%. And to our students who are taking various courses in the campuses, or even those who are yet to select their courses, please always know that technology is the way to go. It's the way that will move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. So please let us employ all the techniques and all the waste that are collected to be recycled for the purposes of solving the problem of climate change. To the industrial owners, please let us practice safe disposal mechanisms. For our chimney, let's use even electrostatic precipitation is not bad, so that we don't emit a lot of soot in the air. So that's my parting shot.
Thank you very much. Over to Mr. Blatter.
Thank you very much. I would say that the crisis that we have at hand, that is climate change, it is a crisis that is facing every one of us within the society is facing it. Now it is your responsibility and my responsibility so that we work towards achieving the positive effects of this particular crisis that we have at hand. So to our fellow youths who are outside there, do whatever we can do. We normally say that start from wherever you are, because at times we will wait to have got enough resources, but enough is not enough. So let us use whatever we have so that we start whatever we can do with it. Then moving forward, I hope that it will be responsibility of every Kenyan, the millions of us who are here. If we take them as a personal responsibility, then in a few months or a few years to come, we shall have been placed at a better position. So to our viewers, I would like to encourage you that not necessarily only youths are involved in this. As women groups, as men, you can also, as a community, as churches, it is a responsibility that cuts across. It cuts across from learning institutions to churches, to communities, and to institutions. So to our teachers who are teaching CBO, this is also an advocacy that you can give back to the students. You can tell them that when they go back home, they ensure that they do the tree planting and environmental conservation. And as I had said, that a clean environment is safe for both me and you. So for our safety, let us, all of us, get involved in combating the climate change. And just to say, many may not know why we have got shortage of food within Kenya right now. The shortage of food is because of climate change. There is a lot of drought, there is increased temperature, so our plants are just withering. You can't plant, you can't do any cropping activity at the moment. So to avoid prolonged food insecurity within the nation, which at long last leads to reduced GDP or the economy is reduced. As a Kenya, we know that we do farming that gives us money. So for us to avoid this, let it be a responsibility of both me and you to advocate and to ensure that there is environmental conservation and a lot is taken in as much as climate change is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And in a second each, anybody who wants to link up with you, maybe your social media platforms or official, connection links. Just to begin.
Okay, you can find We Don't Have Time in every social media platform as We Don't Have Time .org. Our website www.wedon'thavetime and IG the same. Yeah.
And over to you, Scott.
Okay. You can join our fight for our advocacy on climate change via KUCSAA platforms, website kucsaa.co.ke, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We are live on KUCSAA as it is. Yeah, you'll find it there.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. For ours in Facebook, we are HomaBay Constituency, College and University Students Organization. Twitter, we are HOCCUSA, that is the username, but you can search HomaBay Constituency Student Us, because it couldn't capture all, so us. HomaBay Constituency Student Us. Then in Instagram, we are also HOCCUSA _.
And maybe to add, if you want to join us on a platform as We Don't Have Time, just go to Play Store and download the app. Just sign up, then you will be able to see daily updates about climate change. You can be able to post your climate review, your idea. You can be able to share your innovation idea. And I believe through our platform, your idea might be the best that is going to solve the climate crisis we're undergoing through right now. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure having you here at Treaty TV, and we're looking forward to having you and again in the next steps that you're going to be taking in life. So this is 3T TV, always focused and committed to bringing you the Vika and the world story as it is. Today we have been talking about innovation, and it comes and innovation and climate change, the space of innovation and climate change. So we will continue the conversation. I hope you've learned one thing or the other. So it begins with you when you take the step and do what you've heard, not just sitting around. I am yours, Joseph KAINDI. Until next time, same place, same time.